we need to understand what is preconditions of intelligibility means. It simply means the prerequisites of intelligible reasoning and freedom, right? If you are an intelligible person, and when you make a debate, there are some prerequisites, right? Anybody and everybody, when they debate, this is the way they make debates. So, we saw that any worldview must simultaneously and consistently explain and integrate the following things. For example, we saw, these are some of the questions should be asked. How do you account for logic and rationality? How do you account for uniformity of nature? If you look at uniformitarianism, you will understand that there are rules for the nature, and there are laws for the nature. What are the ways the universe has been functioning before? That is exactly the same way universe functions now. So how do you account for that? How do you account for abstract concepts and general laws? So all these questions we looked at in the last class. And so today what we are going to look at is, okay, any debate, especially today with an unbeliever, or an atheist, how are we going to press, force an atheist about some of the positions, logical positions that we have, and some of the illogical positions that they have? How are we going to help them to understand their positions are not logic, right? So we are going to press some of the preconditions of intelligibility according to atheism. Um, so let's look at this atheistic uh, worldview. Sometimes some call, or people call it as materialistic or naturalistic worldview. Uh, these claim, these people, what do they claim? They claim that there are only physical realities. They deny abstract, immaterial realities. They say there are only material things. And they claim that there is no external controls over the universe, right? There are no external, that means there is nobody outside of the universe who controls the universe, and assert that the reality exists only as matter in motion. This this is their standard explanation. All what you see is out there, or all what you see is the matter. That is what this world is consist of. Um, they cannot think, or act or reason successfully in that kind of universe. Now, that is the problem. So, if everything exists as matter in motion, how do you account for thinking, acting, and reasoning? In short, they cannot live with the implications of their own worldview. Um, Now, we are going to, what we need to do? We need to ask them, all right, if everything exists as matter in motion, uh, first question we are going to ask, why be rational? Reasons relies on faith, right? On faith, and not vice versa. Reasoning capacity, it relies on faith. So why, in an atheistic model, should I be rational? If everything is, if everything exists as matter in motion, why should I be rational? Why should I be thinking? The Christian worldview dictates that I be rational, right? Oh, yes. According to the Bible, you need to be rational. You need to be thinking. You need to think all the time before you take a decision, before you do something, because God requires it. God requires every human being to think. But if world is merely matter in motion, why should reason ever into the equation? Yes, right? Why should reason ever enter into equations? There is no place for reasoning in an atheistic worldview, actually. Why? Because they say everything is um, is matter, is matters moving, right? Matter in motion. That's what everything. And if that is what, then why people should be rational? In fact, um, if my brain is simply a combination of biological, physical, chemical, and genetic patterns, then how, in fact, can one make rational choices? If, if the brain is simply chemical, biological, physical thing, then why we ever make rational choices? Even more problematic, how we can make irrational choices. Now, that is the that is the toughest thing. Okay, we ask the question why people make irrational choices. Now, how do you explain the irrational choices, murders, theft, cruelties? Why people do all those things? Why people choose to kill others, murder others? Why? If our brain is simply matter in motion, then why? Why? An atheistic worldview cannot answer the question why human beings are rational. Second problem, right, we need to press atheists about the origin of life, right? According to them, matter began with a Big Bang. So you heard about Big Bang theory. Those of you who have never heard about Big Bang theory, go ahead and study. This is the standard atheistic view of the origin of the universe. So the question is, did matter indeed begin with the Big Bang? Isn't this physically absurd? Right? Matter begins with the Big Bang. So what was there to have that bang? Was there already not a matter? How did the matter actually begin? Now, our question is the origin of life. Did life indeed come from non-life? Yeah, that is what atheistic view tells. That life came from non-life. There was no life in the beginning. It came out of non-life. Is it not biologically absurd? Biologically, is it right that life can life come from non-life? Has it ever been observed that life came from non-life? Was there anyone who observed it? Did anyone have a camera to observe how life formed out of non-life? This is a preposterous scientific theory that can only exist by appeals to exceptions to itself. Yes, this is the way they escape, right? Yeah, there are, when they talk about exceptions, this is not the norm. Abnormal. What is abnormal? Life begins out of non-life. It is exceptions. So you see the illogical explanation of an atheist. The next question should be asked to an atheist: why think in terms of scientific inference? For example, if there is no personal force, Look at that one. Personal force governing the universe, and all things happen by chance, right? That's what atheists say. There is nobody, there is no God who governs the universe. Everything is happening by chance. There is no reason to believe that there are laws that make universe uniform, right? If everything is by chance, then how can there be laws for the universe? The uniformitarianism is absurd. Remember that the uniformitarianism, that the universe has got laws. Universe functions according to the laws. There are laws for the nature, the laws for everything, the laws for, so the complete geology is based on these laws. If there is no personal force or governing force, then this uniformitarianism is absurd. Past is no guarantee of the future. Science is a demand for reasons. Uniformitarianism rests on an unargued bias that matter simply has the character of uniformity. Yeah, for no reason other than that I think it should be that way. So uh, uniformitarianism says there are laws, right? There are laws. The universe functions with the law. So how if there are no governing force, and if only what you have is the matter, how can there be laws? Laws for the universe, the laws that govern the universe, from where these laws have come. The next question, why think in terms of general principles? Yes, everyone is committed to categories of knowledge, right? Categories of knowledge, laws of logic, language, science, etc. These are all categories of knowledge. And these categories are in fact shared. Everyone has it. Every human being uses laws of logic. Every human shares these principles of language, science, etc. So we could not survive without assuming and sharing these abstract and immaterial laws to unite our experiences. Yes, we cannot survive. So we cannot survive without all these categories of knowledge. These are shared. Again, if what you have is only matter in motions, this is not possible. Finally, again, next question. Why be moral? Why be moral? If naturalism is true, there are no absolutes. There are no freedom, no human dignity, no prescriptions, and no obligations. No one should do because we are simply matter, right? We are, all what is there is matter. If that is the case, murder cannot be wrong, right? Why murder is wrong? It just happens according to physical, biological, and chemical combination clustered in a person who becomes a murderer. Some chemical changes happens in someone's brain, and he kills another one. That is that should be the explanation according to their theory. Indeed, the law of the survival of the fittest, remember, um, which is the axiom of atheist or Darwin's, and some people have used it. So the law of survival of the fittest would suggest that people should engage in murder regularly, right? if that is if we adopt the rule of survival of the fittest, you wanted to survive. The best way to survive is you finish others so that you have the advantage. Friends, these are all the illogical ideas of atheism. Our, as an apologist, our responsibility is to ask these questions, right? So, what are the areas we need to press? Okay, why there is reasoning capacity. Man use logic, all right? Ask them about the origin of life, right? Ask them about the laws of the nature, the laws that the universe has. Ask them about morality. Yeah, so what is the conclusion? All these things exist only in the face of borrowed Christian principles. It is it is biblical. Bible demands, and this has come from the Bible, and all of us are using it. All of us are using it. So atheism cannot answer the these ideas, at least these four topic that we talked about. Number one, we said about if human beings we are simply matter, why we should be rational, right? If we are simply, if the world is merely matter in motion, why be rational? What about the origin of life? Matter began. If matter began from Big Bang, is it is it biologically, is it not biologically absurd? Physically absurd? How can there be a Big Bang? How did it happen? And we also talked about the laws. How can there be laws in this universe if again all what you see is matter? And we talked about general principles like the categories of knowledge is shared with everyone, right? And they're shared. We all are committed. We all use this. So we could not survive without assuming and sharing these abstract and immaterial laws to unite our experience. Yeah, these are all immaterial. They are not material. Language, laws of logic, all this, these are all not material. These are all immaterial. So we do have immaterial things. Why be moral? Morality has the basis not in atheism. Atheism cannot afford this one. It is only from Christianity. It is from the Bible. So yes, so when we are talking here, how can we press unbelievers, especially how can we press an atheist about preconditions of intelligibility?